Okay. So today we'll start with a new chapter, new topic from 11th physics, that is friction. So what is a friction all about? First we'll see daily life examples of friction. Daily life examples of friction. Can you cite any daily life examples of friction? Daily life examples of friction. Whenever some surface is moving. Now suppose this is the body and I'm trying to move this body here like this. So whenever this surface is at rest and this surface is moving, so there is a relative motion between the two surfaces. So whenever there is a relative motion between the two surfaces, or there is a tendency of relative motion between the two surfaces, I repeat, whenever there is tendency of motion, tendency of relative motion or relative motion between the two surfaces, the friction arises. It plays its source. The common life examples, if I take a ball and if I make it roll on the floor, but the floor is very very smooth, so will the ball go on and on forever? No, it will stop. Why will it stop? It will stop because of the friction. It will stop because of the friction. If you are driving a vehicle or if you are cycling, cycle, if you stop pedaling, the cycle will stop. So there is a friction. If I switch off the fan which is on right now, it is rotating. If I switch it off, it will not stop abruptly, but it will stop after a certain number of revolutions. Why? Because there is a friction, isn't it? So these are the common life examples, everyday examples. One more example, if I give you, when the brakes of the cycles or vehicles, there is a friction, and that is the reason why it stops. So basically, what does the friction do? Basically, the friction opposes the motion. Friction opposes the motion, opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact. It opposes the relative motion. That's why it is used in the brakes. Brake fail होना मतलब क्या होता है? There is no friction and the vehicle will go on and it will bang somewhere. So that is the consequence. So, and why do we oil the cycle? To reduce the friction. So there are certain examples where we don't want the friction or we want to minimize the friction, like oiling, isn't it? But there are certain cases where we desire the friction, like brakes. If there is no braking, then there are accidents going to take place. So that is the importance of the friction. In some cases it is desired, in some cases it is not desired. It is to be reduced, it is to be minimized, right? Okay, so that's about the friction. Now if I am trying to move the body, suppose this is the body under consideration, let's say this is the body under consideration. Okay, I am trying to move this body. I am applying little force. It is not moving. Now let me draw the diagram for this. So suppose this is the block which is resting on the table. Okay. W is the weight of this block. W is equal to mg. Okay. So I am trying to apply some force here. This is the effort applied. This effort is say 1 Newton, and the block doesn't move. Then I will increase it to 2 Newton. Still the block doesn't move. Then I will start. Now why doesn't it move? Why it does not move? If it is 1 Newton.
It's not enough to.
Yes, it is not enough. Matlab the relative, the two surfaces in contact, they are providing here the friction in the opposite direction. This is the frictional force, and this frictional force is equal to 1 Newton. It is balancing this. Okay. If I increase this to 2 Newton, तो friction भी अपना magnitude बढ़ा के 2 Newton करेगा. If I will increase to 3 Newton, friction भी वो 3 Newton बना देगा. Let us say at 4 Newton it starts moving. तो friction का maximum, it is about to start moving at 4 Newton. So this is the maximum friction that is allowed in this case. We call this as limiting force of friction. हम इसको क्या कहते हैं? Limiting force of friction. Limiting force of static friction. Static friction. Now there are two types of frictions. One is static friction. When is the static friction? Static friction जब होता है when there is no motion. Before the motion starts. That means there is no motion but there is tendency of motion. It is about to move. Right now there is no tendency of motion, but if I apply some force, then there is tendency of motion. So whenever there is a tendency of motion, the static friction comes into picture. Static means at rest. Static means at rest. So there is no motion in this case. There is no motion. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Okay? There is no motion, so this is called a static friction. So whenever and wherever there is tendency of motion, the static friction comes into picture. Now in this case, if I reverse the direction of the applied force, if I reverse the direction of the applied force, if I make it like this, so friction will also reverse its direction. Friction will also reverse its direction. If I am trying to move this table in that direction, the friction is there between the floor and the legs. But if I am trying to pull it, then also there is a friction, but the friction is reversing the direction. So we call this as frictional force is a self-adjusting force. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Frictional force is a self-adjusting force. Self-adjusting, it adjusts its magnitude. Can you see the magnitude is adjusted by its own? If I increase the applied force, the frictional force will also increase its magnitude. And it will also adjust its direction. If I reverse the direction, the frictional force is also reversing its direction. So the frictional force is a self-adjusting force, meaning it will adjust its magnitude as well as direction. Is this clear? Is this okay? Any doubts so far? Okay. Now we go for the next part. Now whenever there is a relative motion, like the body, this is the trolley which is moving on the surface with certain velocity. So if no force is applied, will it stop after some distance? Yes.
Yes.
Why? Because there is a friction. Now there is relative motion between the wheel's surface and the surface road, or the block, this surface of the table. Yes. This type of friction is called as kinetic friction. This type of friction is called as kinetic friction. Is this okay?
Yes.
इसको हम कहते हैं kinetic friction. When does it come into picture? Whenever there is relative motion between the two surfaces. Between the two surfaces in contact. अगर surfaces में motion नहीं है तो कौन सा friction होगा? Static friction. और अगर वहाँ पर motion है तो कौन सा friction होगा? Kinetic friction. Now here the kinetic friction is again of two types. Kinetic friction is again of two types. I'll give you the example of this. I'll give you the example of kinetic friction. Suppose I am taking one surface here. Suppose I consider the surface of the duster. So if when I am moving this surface of the duster on the surface of the board, there is a sliding taking place. Okay? This is called a sliding friction. So give rise to what is called a sliding friction. Okay? And if I am taking this and moving it like this, what do you see here? This is a rolling friction. This is a rolling friction. So motion जब होता है तब दो types के friction होते हैं. Motion जब होता है तो उसको कहते हैं kinetic friction. The kinetic friction is subdivided into two parts. एक होता है sliding friction, दूसरा होता है rolling friction. The best example to tell you, sliding friction, carom board. And this is pool table. This is pool table. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay? Pool table. समझे?
हाँ.
Isn't it? क्योंकि in pool table the balls are rolling and in the carom the coins are sliding.
Yes.
So that is the best example of sliding friction and the rolling friction. Any doubts about this? Okay? ठीक है? Now suppose you are cycling. The wheels are moving. So what kind of friction is this? Rolling friction. But suddenly you apply the brakes and the wheels get jammed.
Sliding.
Then it will start skidding on the road. What kind of friction? Sliding friction. Okay? The static friction is maximum. Static friction is maximum. Okay? Sliding friction is come, or rolling friction is the minimum of it. Is this okay? Any doubts about this? Is this very clear? Let us consider now the laws of friction. This is the block. The block is having mass m. M is the mass of the block. So we are applying certain force over here. This is the effort P. Okay. So let us draw the free body diagram of this block. FBD of this block. So what are the likely forces acting over here?
Weight.
First is weight.
Normal reaction.
W is equal to mg. And the normal reaction, correct? Let me call this normal reaction as, let us say, some people call it as N, some people call it as R. Okay. ठीक है?
Normal force.
That's the normal reaction and the frictional force. So as we know, we already seen that the frictional force is always acting in the opposite direction. Okay? And it will always act at the interface. Okay? So this is the direction of the friction. F is the frictional force. Okay? So I'll here give you the first law. The frictional limiting force of friction. The limiting मतलब end limit वाला हाँ. Limiting force of friction. अगर वो static friction है तो हम उसको Fs बोलेंगे. अगर वो kinetic friction है तो हम उसको Fk बोलेंगे. Static friction, no motion. Kinetic friction, yes motion. Okay? So limiting force of friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Is directly proportional to the normal reaction. This is the first law. This is the first law. Is this okay? Second law states that. Second law. Now, if I go for the first law, so this limiting force of friction, I'll call this as F, Fs, Fk, whatever. It is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Normal reaction, I'll call this as N. अब मुझे बताओ, is this block in equilibrium in the vertical direction? मतलब क्या इस normal reaction की वजह से वो हवा में उड़ रहा है? अच्छा, इस weight की वजह से वो surface के अंदर धंस रहा है? मतलब this upward force is equal to, that means normal reaction N is equal to the weight mg. Yes or no?
Yes.
Isn't it? All right. Now here I will introduce the coefficient of the proportionality. Okay, this F is equal to mu. If this is the static friction, then this is called as mu s. If it is a kinetic friction, then we call this as mu k. Mu times the normal reaction. What is this mu? This mu is called as coefficient of static friction. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Coefficient. It's the constant of proportionality. Coefficient of static friction. And it's the ratio of two forces. What? I'll say mu s is equal to Fs upon N. But as we all know that N is equal to mg. But I will simply call this as N only. So here we have come across a new thing. It is the coefficient of static friction. Now the same thing when applied for with motion. तो इसको static friction के जगह पर हम क्या बोलेंगे? Kinetic friction. The limiting force of kinetic friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Therefore, Fk is equal to mu k into N. Is this okay? And what is this mu k? It is the coefficient of
Static friction.
kinetic friction.
Oh, sorry.
It is the coefficient of
Right.
kinetic friction. Is this clear?
Yes.
It is the coefficient of kinetic friction.
friction.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And therefore, I can say mu k is the ratio of coefficient, the limiting force of kinetic friction upon normal reaction. Is this okay? So that is the first law of friction that we have seen, and this law is applicable to static as well as kinetic friction. Okay. The second law tells us about the direction of frictional force. The direction of frictional force. Where will it act? The direction of frictional force. Yes,
Direction of friction. In the opposite.
it is in the opposite direction to the
Force.
opposite direction of motion, relative motion, or tendency of relative motion. Tendency of relative motion. Okay, it is in the opposite direction. Okay, and it acts in the tangential direction at the point of contact. This is the tangent which can be drawn to both the surfaces. Acts in tangential direction. Okay, at the point of contact. Is this okay?
Yes.
At the point of contact. Any doubts about that? Okay. Third point, the important point. The frictional force Fs or Fk does not depend upon the area of contact, but depends upon the nature of surfaces in contact. Okay? I'll give. To illustrate this third point, the frictional force does not depend upon the area of contact. Now there are two cases shown by green color. There are two blocks, A and B, identical blocks. In the first case, they are kept side by side, and we are putting the weights here so that it will start moving. In the second case, these two blocks are kept one above the other, and again we try to move it. In case 1 and case 2, in which case do you think is the friction more?
One.
The natural tendency of the mindset says it will be one in which the friction will be more. But it is not the case. The friction will be same in both the cases. Okay? That's the reason why the frictional force does not depend upon area of contact. ज़्यादा area है इसलिए ज़्यादा friction नहीं. It is not like that. Okay, that's what I just want to tell you, because when you read this, sometimes it happens you don't understand nature. Area of contact क्या होता है? Area, यहाँ पर area ज़्यादा है, यहाँ पर area कम है, इसलिए यहाँ पर friction ज़्यादा, यहाँ पर friction कम.
दोनों का
No,
same.
दोनों का friction same रहेगा, as long as their material is same in both the cases. Is this okay? So on what factor does it depend? It depends upon the nature of surfaces in contact. मतलब the two surfaces which are in contact, उसके ऊपर depend करेगा. For example, if you talk about the road surface on which the tires are there, you get a better friction. But on the same road surface, when some sand is there on this, or some oil is spilled over, so the friction will be insufficient in that case, and the skidding of the vehicles takes place. Is this okay? So that is the thing. Is this okay?
Yes.
Okay, now we go for the next part, cause of the friction, or we can say considering the friction at atomic level. Suppose this is a block, green color wala. It is kept on the table. Now if I see the block and the table, both the surfaces are pretty smooth. But still if I try to move it, it's not moving effectively. Why? Because there is a friction. So where do we see the friction? Because generally any surface that we see, it is perfectly smooth. But if I have its microscopic examination, if I look at its microscopic examination, इसको अगर हम microscopically view करेंगे, what is going to happen there? Basically, ये दोनों surfaces contact में कुछ इस प्रकार से हैं. ठीक है, दिखने के लिए ऐसा दिखता है. But what is the case here? If I see the table surface, this table surface is, there are a lot of irregularities. ये table है, and on this surface also there are a lot of irregularities. If you see this microscopically, this is what is happening. Now this kind of structure is called as ups and downs, or we also call this as hills and dells, or we also call this as elevations and depressions. We also call this as elevations and depressions. And when we see this microscopically, we see the interlocking of these. They are getting interlocked like this, and that's the reason why the friction is there. So this is the first reason or cause of the friction. Interlocking of ups and downs, or hills and dales, or relations and depressions. Is this okay? Alright. Now the second reason for it. So this is the reason why now when we provide the lubrication, the lubricant is filled in these gaps, and it provides a smooth action there. Okay. The second reason for friction is, now wherever these contact points are there, you see the contact points. This upper block is in contact with this, so this is one of the contact point. Okay. ये दूसरा contact point है, ये तीसरा contact point, and there is one more contact point. So wherever these contact points are there, okay, there is a very strong molecular force of attraction. Strong molecular force of attraction at the contact points. At the contact points. Now this force is very strong, very strong. It is so strong that sometimes we refer this to cold welding. They are cold welded joints. Welding के जितना strong होता है वो, ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. So these strong molecular forces of attraction, because of which the friction is there. So when we, and they form a very cold welded joints, या ऐसे bonds तैयार कर लेते हैं. So when we want to move it, we have to break these joints. We have to break these joints. Is this okay? So this is the second reason of friction. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
All right. We consider the next part now. Friction on the inclined plane. Now, but this is an inclined plane, inclined at angle theta with the horizontal, and there is a block having mass m is on it. The block is kept like this, and if I go on raising this angle theta, then at certain point it will start moving down. Yes or no? Isn't it? Now, at that point, when it starts, it is about to move down. We have to draw the free body diagram of this. We have to draw the free body diagram. So let us draw the free body diagram. This is the weight. W is equal to mg. Is this okay? And then there is the normal reaction. The normal reaction is called as normal because it is at right angle to the supporting surface. So this is the supporting surface. The normal reaction will always be like this. It will always be perpendicular to the supporting surface. समझ में आ गया? I'll call this as the normal reaction. Okay. Then this weight is resolved in two directions. एक होगा along the plane, दूसरा होगा perpendicular to the plane. So which is the cos component, which is the sin component? Tell me. Which is angle theta first of all?
Angle theta will be the one between
ये या दो. This is angle.
Right.
This is angle theta. Because horizontal का perpendicular vertical और इसका perpendicular ये. So angle between any two lines is always equal to angle between the respective perpendiculars. अगर ये angle theta है, तो इसका adjacent component होगा mg cos theta. और थीटा के सामने वाला कंपोनेंट, सामने वाला मतलब सामने वाला कंपोनेंट, दिस इज mg sin theta. Is this okay? And now comes the friction. So if this is the tendency of motion is downward, the frictional force is acting at the interface and in the opposite direction. So this is the force of friction, Fs, which is equal to μs equal to normal reaction. But in this case, normal reaction n is equal to mg cos theta. Can you see? N is equal to mg cos theta. And therefore, in this case, frictional force is mu s mg cos theta. Mu s mg cos theta. Is this okay? Is that clear? Sure.
Mm.
So in the second case, the block is again on the inclined plane, but the block is being pulled in the upward direction. So it is about to move. Now we have to draw the free body diagram. So this is mg. Wait. There is a normal reaction. N. And then there is this. If I resolve it, I say, and I say, this is angle theta. So this is mg cos theta. And this is mg sin theta. Tendency of motion is in the upward direction. So the frictional force will be acting in the opposite direction like this. And this is Fs. Fs is equal to mu s normal reaction. But normal reaction is mg cos theta. So it will be mu s into mg cos theta. Is this clear to you? Sure? So this is the friction on the inclined plane. And we'll need these two concepts in many examples, many numericals. Okay? Take the snapshot please.